Greetings, and welcome to my channel. I'm the Anunnaki Theorist. This month I'm going to do something a little bit different. Those that have watched my videos in the past, know my channel, know my habits, they know that I put out one video a month. I don't have a lot of time. This is not something that I do for a living or anything. This is me getting information out there. So I normally only do one video a month. That way I can make sure that I get all the research and all the information and everything together in the little bit of time that I have in my normal life. But because the topics that I'm going to be covering this month are small, there's not a lot to them, I figure I'm going to do a video a week talking about these different things. Okay, so as the title states, this is the Tablets of Destinies. Now, when I looked up, exactly what the definition of the Tablets of Destinies are, I found conflicting definitions. These could either be a specific type of something, or the Tablets of Destinies, that phrase could be used synonymously with something. Okay, and that something is what in mainstream calls the May. It's M-E, but it's pronounced May. Okay, and what the May is, according to mainstream, and this is mythology, it says these are decrees of the divine that is foundational to those social institutions, religious practices, technologies, behaviors, mores, and human conditions that make civilization. Okay, so we come down here and we have Enki and the World Order, which I have that here. This is the actual text, and in fact I have in a previous video, in my Time, Fate, and Prophecy video, this is Enki that has basically been given charge to do various things, and it is supposed to be because of these Mays. When we get into the Sitchin thesis, I'm going to come over here to Genesis Revisited. This is one of the supplements of the Earth Chronicles. Says wisdom sciences and the arts, the activities that required know-how, were the domain first of Enki, the chief scientist of the Anunnaki, and later on of his children. We learn from a text scholars call Inanna and Enki, the transfer of the arts of civilization, that Enki possessed certain unique objects called May, a kind of computer or data disks, which held the information needed for the sciences, the handicrafts, and the arts. Okay, so the way I see these are essentially technical manuals or guidebooks. We come down here, and this is, of course, Inanna and Enki, and it says the Sumerian tablets never actually describe what any of the Mays look like, but they are clearly represented by physical objects of some sort. Okay, so in the story of Enki and Inanna, that's this right here. Well, it's a little bit of erotica. The thing is Inanna was given a region. The Anunnaki, a lot of the prominent Anunnaki, they were given areas of Earth to rule over, to be the god or the goddess of. And Inanna, technically, she didn't have the clout. She didn't have the prominence to actually be a ruler of some place. She was essentially third generation. But because everybody tried to appease Inanna, they went ahead and they gave her a region. But they didn't give her the maze in order to be able to advance that region, in order to create a civilization, to give kingship, to give the arts to. Okay, so she seduced Enki. She got him drunk. Now, one of the things that we have to understand is there are conflicting genealogies when it comes to who Inanna's father is. Okay, in some accounts, her father is Anu. In other accounts, her father is either Enlil or Nanar-Sin. And then in other accounts, her father is Enki. Okay, so we don't know. I mean, the way Sitchin states it is her father is actually Nanar-Sin. Now, Nanar is Enlil's oldest legitimate son. So, Enki is half-brother to Enlil. That would make Nanar essentially half-nephew. And Inanna is the daughter of Nanar, so that would make Inanna Enki's half-great-niece. The genealogy is ridiculous when it comes to the Anunnaki. In the Sitchin thesis, and even in mainstream when they try to, describe who's who, all right? Okay, but in this, we've got Inanna that goes ahead and seduces Enki. She gets him drunk. She gets sexual with him and winds up tricking him into giving her the maze that she needs in order to create a civilization in her region. Yeah. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, okay, and then it's sitting there saying, although more than 100 maze appear to be mentioned in the myth of Enki and Inanna, they only have 64 that can actually be pulled out because a lot of the text is missing. I mean, these are old texts. Okay, but what I see this is the law. These are the laws, the rules, the guides that are required for a civilization, and this is what was used prior to the Code of Hammurabi, which I've talked about in videos in the past. Before the Code of Hammurabi, this is how they dealt with everything. They had to consult the maze. Now, it's not all law, because you get into the craft, the craftsmanship. You get into the arts, musical arts, and things like this. And then it's got some things in here that would seem, weird. The way I see it is, it's how to deal with terror, how to deal with fear. It's not necessarily how to cause, although it could be. And then, of course, you've got judgment and decision, things like this. So that's why I see that the maze they were the original laws. But that's the maze, or the tablets of Destinies if it's used synonymously. Now, In my next videos, I'm going to go in depth into 3 of the Mays, because they're kind of important, especially when you get into the story, the Sitchin thesis, and things like that, and then also just humanity and civilization as a whole. I'm the Anunnaki theorist. Enjoy.